Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Marrocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and interdimensional seer. Together, they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources. Make sure to post your questions and comments below. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Disclosures. We have some updated information. Peter, the Insider, is here to share with you some of the most latest events that are occurring. And I also have some other articles that we were going to discuss. So without any further delay, let's get into it. Hello, Peter. How are you today?
I want to say hello to you and to all of our regular, maybe not so regular listeners.
Okay, great. We have some, obviously the world still looks like it's, there's a lot of serious problems.
Yes, that's true.
And we're going to continue talking about the shadow group because they're definitely continuing to work in the background and doing all the things that they have set out to do, which is to take over the eastern part of the world, which they seem to be successful in doing so. And now we are learning that they have been successful in the West as well. So, and it is reflecting, and I will point out some articles to confirm some of these things. But without further delay, Peter, why don't we let you get started in telling us what's going on?
Yeah, okay, so plenty people, let's say multiple people we are calling it in my homeland, in my part of Europe, we are calling it V4. That means like Czech, Slovak Republic, Poland, and Hungary. Multiple people, I mean civilian people, they noticed that something is, quotes in quotes, unusually different. And many people used, not they not it wasn't like they described something and it was similar or whatever. They literally used the same term, and I was like, hey, stop, this is not normal. No, this is not. And they told me that in facilities, let's say no-go zones and whatever, so research, scientific research facilities, army facilities, whatever, they noticed that you literally can't drive even near. What does it mean near? Because for normal people or for common people, it's like, fine, okay, I am not stupid, I will not drive, I don't know, like 10 or 15 miles. So what I'm talking about, like 16 or maybe 20, 10, 12, 15 miles, 16 or 15, 20, 25 kilometers away. No, it's normal. I will not be doing anything like that if I will be random civilian. But they made this parameter much bigger. What we are talking about? We are talking about approximately 40 miles. That means approximately 65 64, 65 kilometers in diameter, right? What is big? This is big, right?
That is. It's a large, yeah, quite a distance of land.
Yeah, and this is it. It is like, and nobody wants to talk about that, but friend of mine, I mean, not directly him, but his sister, there was, and it, from my point of view, it was a setup, right? Because there was malfunction, electronic malfunction, and I don't buy this. I don't buy this quote unquote story. It's like what? Hey, give me a second. 2K18 or 2K19, it was manufactured, the car was manufactured 2K18 and first registration 2K19 in Slovakia. And it's nonsense that that kind of new, because it's new car, right, can have fatal like malfunction. And car simply went down in the middle of nowhere. Then suddenly out of nothing, like lighting from the clear sky, no telephone cell phone service. What's obvious, it wasn't normal because she got one because she was texting. I mean, like, do you know what I mean? Saying the message in our own native language, and it was transforming it to the text. And now let's say electronics went down, and then after a few attempts, of course, locks, they was picked down, so nothing. So, and that was the problem, right? Like,
right, so explain to me, so within that region around 2018, 2019.
no, region within the time. So it was let's say 4 years old car, and in such a car, this nonsense, it is nonsense to have that kind of crazy malfunction, right?
Right.
On
So
electronics.
like an electromagnetic field or something
Yes,
like that.
so, and that was it. It was her, but the problem was two small children. One girl is like 6 and the boy is 8. And they started, suddenly out of nowhere started, and car starts moving.
On its
Suddenly,
own?
yeah. And it is not like Tesla-ish smart car, whatever. No, it's normal hybrid car.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to guess what happened. Suddenly, out of nowhere, there was two completely black SUVs, and from one of them, on top of the roof, there was a turret submachine gun, and it starts to shoot on this car. And they were hell of the scares. And they were hell of the scared, and both of those two children start stuttering, like psychological trauma, and they start stuttering. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That's terrible. Yeah.
Yes, because it's like, as I said, 6 and 8, you know, it's, and it was suddenly out of nowhere, and she mentioned this to husband, and then there is, let's say, I don't want to make it too special, let's say army guy involved somehow with army. I don't want to make it too much special. And he said, what the heck? Why the heck you stopped in this kind of road? And she said, no, we didn't stop. Car was simply out of control, you know. And that is the stuff. So they are testing multiple scenarios. This is crazy. Jeez.
So they're saying anyone that kind of comes within closer to that range, they're manipulating or they're shutting down their vehicle or they're shooting
They
at
are
them.
testing multiple scenarios, and this is the problem. They don't care even the small children were in the car. Two cars, completely black, the black, I mean color, the black windows, and from the first one, there simply appeared the turret, and it was automatic stuff, and it started to shoot. Yes, it was from quotes in quotes decent distance, but still the complete right side of the car was damaged by bullets. Yes, nobody was hurt. That's good. Let's say at least the bright side of this crazy event, but still it's weird. They are testing, I don't know, they are edging people.
All right,
And
so
people,
who is they? They're in your country.
I
They're
think shadow group people.
shadow group within the We5, We4, I mean.
Before, yes. Before.
Within the We4, that they're messing around, they're blocking large areas, and they're doing experimentation.
I think that they are using EMP impulses.
Right.
I think that is what they are doing.
Yeah, and we've talked about this.
Let's say they are maybe testing the perimeter and they are doing some sort of experiments or countermeasures or whatever, and maybe, I'm just saying, maybe this family, young family, was simply, do you know what I mean? Wrong time, wrong place. I don't know. I'm just saying. But all of kind of those crazy, weird events, geez, I don't know. It's so weird.
Life feels very unpredictable. You wake up in the morning, you turn on the news, and each time it's just shocking. It's like, what happened? And it doesn't make any sense. What I would like to do is share some things with you, Peter, and then we can continue this discussion. But we're going to go over to some of the...
I'm just saying something. What is really weird? This happened in Czech. That's what I said right now. This happened in, near Malacky. Malacky is a town in western region. It is named Záhorie, western region of Slovakia. And another event happened in Moravia, the capital city of Moravia, Brno, near capital city of Moravia, Brno, like ghost soldiers. They are calling them ghost soldiers, and they are literally from let's say future, but I mean like far future, like
right.
nothing like that. They are out of nowhere, suddenly appearing and disappearing out of nowhere to nowhere, and they are doing crazy experiment. And do you know what is crazy? They are kidnapping small children in between 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 years old, whatever. It's
That's
crazy.
In your country, the We4, or around the world?
Yes, We4. Czech Slovak Republic, mostly Czech Slovak Republic. In Poland, they are, because there is a lot of amber. I talk about that. And yeah. Amber has very interesting, amber has very interesting characteristics. Yeah, Polish amber. Characteristics, physical one, chemical ones, and it is some sort of stabilization system, natural stabilization, because in Poland, especially northern Poland, there is a lot of amber, plenty amber. You can have it like, I don't know, you are going on a beach, and you will just see every single way on the beach. And this is the stuff I'm just saying, you know.
There's the EMP nuclear attack.
Yeah, I know, but this is just another.
That's February 17, 2022, 1914. A single bullet fired at Archduke Ferdinand by a Serbian terrorist created the unexpected war of World War I. This is, just one incident, someone getting shot, turns out to be this like major thing, and they're showing how that happens. But that's the now they're using, of course, one shot is not what's doing it here.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, this region of my, yes, this is it. This region, when I am from, everything is so weird up there. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know what is going on up there, and they don't. Literally, NATO members countries, they don't want to admit, because I was in a summit, special summit.
And where was this summit taking place?
No, it wasn't official. No. Of the special, agencies or whatever.
Okay.
And they don't want to admit, they don't want to accept that shadow group is that powerful. They even don't want to call them shadow group, because they are saying that if we will take shadow group serious, it's like we will accept that there are elites and blah blah blah, literally those kind of nonsenses. And this is it. They don't want to talk about that, because it's like they want to talk about, I don't know, like Barkov, they want to talk about Toth, but they don't want to talk about, Lynch. And the fact, I mean, two facts, right? That Lynch has that tremendous amount of property, power, and the way how to get the information, the intel, and even let's say above level or the bottom line, that nobody, and even them, they don't know the real name. Of course, we know that the name is obvious, that his real name is not John Lynch, but even the Martin Berg probably is not his real name.
Martin Berg is another alias. Yeah.
Yes, they don't want to admit it. It's like, what in the world is wrong with you guys? Even they don't want to say that Deckard and Owen shows, the Show brothers, are involved. No, they don't want to.
What are they saying then? So they don't agree with you, and they don't want to entitle a shadow group.
Not only with me. There were plenty of us. They were claiming that. And like, let's say that they are too proud to admit that, because once they, from my point of view, okay, this is my personal opinion, if they will admit that yes, of course, we've got some black moles, whatever, from my point of view, it will be like, no, we failed. Do you know what I mean? Like, NATO countries failed. They don't want to admit it. They are simply too proud, too, I don't know, egocentric, too egomaniacs, whatever, to admit that. And I was like, holy crap. You know what I mean? It's
But what do they prefer to call it? What are they choosing to call it instead if they're not acknowledging what you and others are saying?
no. Look, it is not about giving it shadow group or with another group name. No, they don't want to accept fact, and this is it, fact that they are doing. Pardon me, that they are doing damage and causing disproportion and distortion to whole world. They are saying like, do you know what? Let it be as it is. And I was like, what? Do you know what I mean? They are like, no, we are seeing nothing, we are hearing nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, holy crap.
Right, right. So, but maybe the shadow group is so sleuth or so hidden that it's hard for them to find them. And so they don't feel like they have enough
Give me a
proof.
second. From my point of view, once again, they are too proud. They are too proud to accept that.
That
It
this
is
this
not
group could actually do all of this, and they feel embarrassed that they haven't been able to remove them.
from my point of view, yes. Too embarrassed on one hand, and on the other hand, like too proud to admit, to accept that they can have too little information and too, let's say, small ability or small less agility of doing actions or countermeasures or whatever, and this is it. That this is, give me a second, this is only my personal opinion, okay? Only my personal opinion. I'm just saying.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. I want to give you an example because we usually use TV shows and video games and everything. And I happen to be watching this show called Black Mirror. It's actually a series that's on Netflix, and it comes up with a lot of artificial intelligent agendas. You know, say examples of what could be in the future with artificial intelligence and how they play out. And it's very like disturbing for most of the shows. So this one is the season 3, episode 6, called "Hated in the Nation." And in the show, you have there's a problem with the insects, particularly the bees, because they have to pollinate everything, you know, particularly the flowers and the plants and so forth. And so they're dying off, so they create fake bees. The other side of this is that there is something going on with like their social media. It kind of declares like Twitter as a forum where people get into like hate crimes. You know, they talk about how much they hate people and they attack people and they troll people, and then before you know it, they people are starting to get killed. They literally get killed if a lot of people hate them. And it turns out that there is a soldier behind all of this, and his name is let's see, his name in the show, Garrett. Okay, so Garrett has this one friend, and she ends up getting caught up in this hate incident. And one of these bees actually, you know, they go into the body and then they make these people like suicide, or, you know, because the pain is so excruciating. So the reason why I brought this up is because it kind of reminds me of the shadow group and how they had control over all of these bees, this corporation. And then this guy came in and took control, and as a rogue started using these bees to kill people. And he kept a list not just of the people that everyone hated on Twitter, but all the people that participated in this game of Twitter are the ones that became the trolls, because there was no limitation of what you could say and negative things you could say about people. But it ended up in like a kill game, you know, in the end. And then he was going to have every single one of those people that were involved, in this game of Twitter to actually get killed, the ones that participated and said they hated someone. So everyone was like targeted by this one guy, this one soldier who was able to take out thousands and thousands of people because he was able to access the control of these bees. And this is the problem that we have. We have a very complex world right now where they're able to jump in, and you talked about EMPs, and they're able to deal with technology to the way that the grids are set up. The grids are not hardwired like they used to be.
Sorry for interrupting you, but this is the problem, or let's say main part of the problem, that they don't, let's say I was in this, I don't want to call it summit, maybe let's call it better than summit, let's call it meeting, but it was, let's say, high class officers meeting, and they simply don't want to admit, to accept that only one particular individual can have such power, access to such power. Do you know what I mean? Such
right,
control over the whole network and whatever. Because, and this is the stuff, because we were not talking about this issue first time, and not only like 2 or 3 times. We talked about that multiple times on this level, and they are keep on going and going, refusing that there can exist small network, very small network of high class individuals, let's say with high class security clearances, whatever. And this is the stuff, because from their point of view, I mean, where the whole, let's say, where are the roots of the whole problem? Because they believe, and this is the stuff what doesn't make any sense, that West can't get allies or can't be allies with East or vice versa. Nah, it's nonsense. They simply within, or let's say on all the levels, that they are, you know what I mean, enemies and whatever. And this is the problem. They don't get, but this is the stuff. Once again, I am not saying Western, if we want to call it that way, Western world, you know, high class officers only.
High level.
Yes, like high level. It is like you can't, let's say, make quote unquote solid reason for Western guys, the same stuff for Eastern guys. Let's say none of them want to accept, this is not like belief, accept fact that the main reason why the shadow group is that powerful is fact that they are literally showing them, both of them, either both, my bad, both West and East, they are showing the middle fingers, because their strength is in the fact that they unified. That means they know each other strength and weaknesses. What I'm trying to say, it's, jeez,
right. They're aware of each other, and so much information has been exposed.
Exactly. And this is the problem, because once they will not, I mean, the regulars, let's say the normal ones, once they will be too stubborn, or let's say stubborn enough to accept that something like that can happen, like that. That means like that East can align West with West or vice versa. It doesn't matter. And thanks to that, they can be much more powerful and exactly like chess game, like few steps ahead. Uh, till they will not accept this as a fact, as a true, right? And period, end of story. Like no discussion allowed. Then we will, I don't want to say we will not be able to defeat them, but it will be very hard. Let's take it that way. Yeah.
So, can I just review this quickly, Peter? So I
No,
better
go
understand.
ahead. Feel free to go
Okay, so you're
ahead.
saying that are they discouraging the East and the West from being in kind of a peace conversation, peace talks, or are they think it's not possible? Or
No, please. I am saying that those kind of quotes in quotes normal officials. So let's say the officials, they are working officially for either Western or Eastern, let's say, those high class officers within their, information agencies. You know what I mean?
right? Yeah, so
They don't believe that something like that can happen. That means, yes,
something like
of course,
what?
they know that there are traitors, period, end of story, but they don't believe that Western traitors can join Eastern traitors in order to get stronger. I'm just saying, do you know? This is it.
When you say Western traitors, like people who have betrayed.
Yes, I mean people like Lynch, people like Shaw Brothers and whatever. This is what I'm talking about.
And so they think that there's no sense in trying to get them to act and behave in a good way because they're, first of all, they don't acknowledge they exist, or because they think that they are incapable of coming to a point of harmony.
Give me a second. Yes, they don't believe that they are two things. As I said, two things. First, that they don't believe that they can go, or let's say that they can gain such tremendous amounts of, as I said, power and resources, all kinds of resources in the first place. And in the second place, they don't believe that Westerns can join Eastern traitors. That means Eastern traitors, Barkov, Toth, whoever. It's from their point of view, it doesn't make any sense, and it's pointless. But this is it.
What do you think? Do you think that the traitors, or those that are betraying the U.S. and those that are betraying the West, the East and the West, that they can actually communicate together, or would they just create
once again, but how? Give me a second, sorry, but what I am saying it from the very beginning, but that shadow group is shadow group. That means they are from both sides, and once they know, or let's say since they know each side's weaknesses, and strong and weak points. Do you know what I mean? And they are taking advantage from that.
So you're saying that the alliance of the shadow group, which is comprised of the Western world as well as the Eastern world, and they're traitors of their own countries, and they've joined together, that they don't believe that.
Yes, once again, officials, high-class officials,
high-level officials, yes.
They don't believe that something like that can happen. They don't believe. Let's say they know.
But it did happen. It did happen.
Yes, and this is it. What they don't believe. This is like, yes, we've got traitors. I mean, we in East, in West have traitors. They in sorry, I need to say it again. We in West, we have traitors. Yes, they in East, they've got traitors. But no, we don't believe that they can join together. And this is it.
So they think that's impossible. So your information doesn't seem valid to them because
yes, from their point of view, we, and this is it. No, not mine, but we. I mean, we, as we are standing for this point, they are saying that we are saying nonsenses. That it's total bullshit.
Okay, so now, and I told you yesterday that I saw Ben Seka, who is the sniper.
Yeah.
The sniper. I saw him in the U.S. Can I say where or no? Probably not.
I don't know if it's, but technically, from my point of view, it's not a big deal.
Okay, so I saw him in Florida, and then I saw someone that looked like Risov in Florida as well, and I don't know what they were doing there.
Because give me a second. I know that Binseka is in US, but
Yeah.
to be honest, their biggest advantage is that they can move, they can travel very fast all around the world. But what I know for sure, and sorry, I don't want to make it more special, but what I know for sure that it wasn't Rizov. No, I simply
You
know.
said it looked like him, but it wasn't him. That's
Yes. I don't want to be more specific about it, but I know for sure, like 100% sure, that it wasn't Rizov. No, no.
There was a case of overdoses of a bunch of kids on school break that had overdose of cocaine laced fentanyl.
But you know that fentanyl is the most most lethal substance meant to know to mankind. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah, and people just barely touch it. They get killed, right?
This kind of how can I say it, comparison. What is lethal? And it was like cocaine, I think, and this fentanyl, and it was like, what in the world is that? They have certain dose of, I mean, it looks, the cocaine and the fentanyl, it was only like 2 or 3 particles or whatever, and I was like, what in the world?
So there's things going on in Florida, especially, with school break happening, and here is Ben Seka, he's down in Florida, and then someone that is connected to Risov was in Florida as well.
Who is being? I mean, you mean that we can see him or whatever?
He was there, yeah. Well, I don't know if he's still there, but they have the capacity to jump, right? They're jumping.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah, so yes. They could be 5 different places around the world in one day.
Yes, or that's
more.
possible.
I don't know.
But once again, Binseka, yes, but I'm sure, positively sure that it wasn't Riza, because let's say, I don't want to be specific, but I know it. Okay, let's say it that way.
I just wanted to go back quickly because we brought up Black Mirror and about this whole thing about the Twitter, and recently there was this thing about Twitter allows death threats, the same thing like the Black Mirror that came out years ago, and there allows death threats against Russians in the new Ukraine war policy. Now, I think that they're recording all of this trolling activity. They're following who all these people are, and I think that those that are sending out death threats to different people are going to be sorry later on. I mean, in a day and age where they're holding on to data, and just like what's going on in Facebook and some of these others, and they're holding on to data where people can access things and look at activities and whatever.
Yes, because, sorry for interrupting you, but yes, because technically you need to be goddamn careful what you are sharing or saying, or I don't know, like adding on the internet, because once it is on internet, it is on internet, period. And let's say internet never forgets. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And especially like this, you're threatening a group of people, a large population of people.
Yeah.
And to me, here it is. It's like in the Black Mirror, there were some really strange repercussions of this type of thing where, yeah, you might be hurting somebody, but I always said trolling is just such a negative, horrible thing that has been endorsed by people. And it's interesting because Twitter, they had censored everything, especially during the Trump administration. But yet, they allow things like this, which is really weird. Whether we agree with the leadership in any country, we have to keep in mind that these are all innocent people that are just trying to make a living
Yes,
and not
you
committing
mean
any crimes.
like common inhabitants, you mean, right?
Right. And so, to be divisive and say we're against this country or against that country, the innocent people that are involved, those are the ones that are at risk. Those are the ones that, like, in the Ukraine, they're not probably going to get the money and the help that everybody's wanting to send.
Yes. Most probably, yes, you are right.
All right, so this came out. This is another reason why, Peter, you said something to me that the shadow group now owns the U.S., and to me this is proof, and I'll explain why.
Go ahead.
Pelosi rushes to pass a 2,741-page budget bill ahead of the Democratic retreat. I want you to see this. I've never seen this in my entire life. And here's something that I've never seen in politics. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi rushes to pass a 2,741-page funding measure Wednesday before the Democrats set off to Pennsylvania for a party retreat, giving lawmakers less than 15 hours to comb through the legislation. So we're talking about almost 3,000 pages, right? On funding. Mrs. Pelosi, whatever she is, unveiled the $1.5 trillion budget bill 1:30 in the morning so that no one can actually disagree with her.
Yeah.
And Wednesday, before scheduling the midday vote for passage, she's doing all this. This is illegal. This is illegal because she is running, this is a dictatorship that she is saying, I am not obeying any of the laws, any of the rules of the United States. I am doing whatever I feel like doing. And if I can get those people out of my way that are going to disagree with me, that's called a dictatorship. And I'm going to do it at 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to pass the bill, whether they like it or not. And that's how I know this is not the United States. The United States had some voting capacity, or at least some representation from the Senate or the Congress. And she's bypassing all of it, just doing whatever she wants, everything that she accused Trump of. And I'm not taking the side of this is not a pro-Trump thing or anything, but let's be honest. I mean, there's that thing of projection where you're pointing at someone, saying they're doing something that you're doing. And so
projection, yep, that's exactly
constantly it. Pointing the finger at other people, saying they're doing things that she's actually doing to get all the eyes looking at the other person instead of herself. And she's been very successful at this, and she has some kind of support, supernatural support, in a very negative way, a very dark entity inside of this person, to be able to seduce and allure the entire world with her intentions, and never considering the rest of the population, and has been getting away with it, like unbelievable. How do you pass a bill 1:30 in the morning while everyone else is asleep and say, well, we just decided to pass it? I mean, they sitting around having drinks and cocktails?
Sorry for interrupting you. I don't believe it was like that. It was prepared long time ago, and they simply released it 1:30 a.m. I think that's my personal opinion.
No, they were voted on it at that time.
Oh crap.
Yeah. Yep. Because that way no one else was present to disagree with it. And look at it's 1.5 trillion bill of taxpayer money. These are from all the hardworking people in the United States. I mean, this happens in dictatorship country. I mean, it happens all the time. We've been saying, "Oh, we need to protect this one, protect that one." Oh, yeah, let's help out the Ukraine because of, what Russia's doing in Ukraine is terrible. But what are they doing to the United States? I mean, they're not even attacking other people. They're attacking the people here. So I know that we're run by another group. This is not natural.
No, I completely agree with you. Yeah.
Here's another one. Biden authorizes 200 million more because they need more money, and I wonder whose pocket is getting lined. I mean, I've never seen politicians become billionaires overnight like they have been over the past couple of years. I know, here again, I'm going to say it, I'm not promoting Trump, but I don't think Trump even took a paycheck while he was in office. And we're seeing these people become extremely wealthy. And so, yeah, here again, there's all the money that supposedly is going to the Ukraine, which my question is, who is it that is going to take the money? Whether it's just he's sending it out.
Yes, because this is legitimate question, as you said. Like, once it will be, or they will be common people. Do you know what I mean? They need that money. It will be normal. Do you know what I mean? It will be not normal.
If the money went to those people,
it will
yeah.
be fine. It will be fine. I will be not against it, but let's say I highly doubt so. Am I right?
Those people, where those people are going that are being affected by whether they're bombing or attacking their own citizens, or it's coming from another source, or we don't. I mean, it's so convoluted over there. And then those people,
Yes,
what are they doing? They're
yes,
escaping.
because even people in there, living in there, they don't know who is attacking who, or
Right.
which army is which army. It's like, I am not saying that it wasn't Russian attack. Definitely it was, but let's say there are so many fronts and sides and whatever. It's so chaotic. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, absolute nonsense. Like, the chaos is everywhere, and
Yes.
people, do you know what I mean? It's crazy. One thing is crazy. People, let's say, in Slovak, I mean, more than two-thirds of all the refugees are in Poland, and pretty much rest of them are in both in my homeland, Slovak, and Czech Republic. And it's like approximately like 85-90%, and they are slowly moving to Western Europe, let's say Western, from Czech and Slovak Republic, so Western, right, to the West. But this is the stuff. So many people in my homeland and Czech Republic, and Polish people too, they don't know what the heck is going on, because I mean, yes, there are refugees that they are poor, but most of those refugees, they are poor. They don't want to let them pass through the to the border. And the problem is that there were not multiple, let's say plenty people, dozens, maybe almost like hundreds of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands people, they rushed away from Ukraine before the actual conflict, the actual attack, Russian attack started, or Russian invasion, we need to call it as it is, Russian invasion. And do you know what is crazy? That those people are wealthy. Even in my homeland, and in Czech Republic, in Poland, they are, what in the world? They've got very, very expensive cars, branded clothing. They've got expensive electronics. And they are like, what? What the heck is going on? They are saying, or they were saying, that there was, you know, that most of Ukrainians are or were poor. What the heck is going on? Are you serious?
But the money,
Do you know,
all this money that's being sent is not going to go to these people. What's happening is,
to the ones they will need them. I mean, really need them. And this is it because
but the we
in
four,
in
the
high
we four are
Tatras,
taking them.
please let me finish, okay? In high Tatras, it's like the border region of Czech and sorry, once again, the high Tatras, the border region in between my homeland, so Slovak Republic and Poland. There are the services are good, very good, but also very expensive. Everything is expensive, hotels and everything, very expensive. And a friend of mine living, and he with his family is living in Germany, and he was like, you know what? Yes, we will go to Poprad. It's largest town in Tatras region on ours, on Slovakian side. And he was like, what in the world? They've got, I don't know, like basic price cars in between 60, 70, maybe 80,000 euros. They are very, let's say, branded. I mean, the clothing, branded clothing, whatever. And he was like, I mean, sorry, I'm talking like about Ukrainians. He was like, what? Is there war or isn't there war?
So you're saying
Because
they're showing up with designer clothing and nice cars.
yes. It's like they are showing that they have plenty money, a lot of money. And it's like, it's not only in Slovakia. People pretty much in Czech Republic, in Poland, in Hungary, even in Italy, in Croatia, in, I don't know, in Slovenia, they are saying the same stuff. Like plenty Ukrainians in very expensive cars, as you said, brand, like design, stylish clothing, expensive electronics, whatever. And he was like, what? It doesn't make any sense. And there is another problem, a lot of men, because it's like, okay, men, do you know what I mean? The men will go back up there and they will fight. I mean, go, do you know what I mean, as a soldiers, go to war as a soldiers? No, because they will like, okay, women with children will be driving. No, there was men too. There were men too. So it means like, of course, that there is lack of soldiers in Ukraine. I mean, on Ukrainian side, because plenty of men, they simply went away. They get like hella fast, and it looks like plenty of Ukrainians, they've got the information that there will be war, and they've got this information. They simply went away like a hella fast, like you know. And this is the crazy. It's like, what the heck? Why? I don't know. I'm just saying, you know.
I have a question for you, Peter.
Sorry, go ahead.
Why is it that they are sending money to the Ukraine, and all of these people that are fleeing and going into the We4, they're not sending money to Eastern Europe and in Poland and the Czech Republic to help pay for or to assist those people that are actually in need? We don't really know.
This is it, because
Money
most
should be
of
there.
Good question. And
Right?
this is the problem. This is the problem because most of Ukrainians, they don't want to stay in Middle Europe. They want to be no, no, no. I don't want to be here. I want to go to most of them, even not Austria. They want to go like either Germany or I don't know, like France or Benelux. That means like Belgium,
Belgium,
Netherlands,
yeah,
Luxembourg, or to I don't know, like to UK, or
or US.
like Sweden, Norway, whatever. So wealthy countries. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to be in my homeland or let's say the region where I am from. No, they don't want to be. No,
But
or they don't want to stay there. No, no.
it's a burden on the Eastern Europeans because
Yes.
they're giving them food, they're giving them supplies, they're helping them
And give me a
travel.
second. Do you know what is crazy? They are giving them everything for free. It's like, look, it's public transport. You need to pay either tickets or you need to pay for, like I don't know, some sort of special card, and it will last for you like 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month or 3 months, right? No, for them everything is for free. You need to go to doctor, either common like normal doctor to specialist. You need to pay. They know nothing. You need to go to. You need to go for medicine, right? No, you need to pay for medicine. They know nothing, nothing.
So all the surrounding nations around the Ukraine are, if there's any type of uh, chemical bombs, any type of bioweapons, whatever, they're going to be affected, and they're not even involved in this conflict.
Yes, yes, and I will say you why they are so generous. I will say you why. Because Ukrainians are pretty much official. What is their official status? They are army refugees, right? And once you are army refugee, you have pretty much everything for free, right? Everything. And it's UN, like United Nations resolution, and you can't do nothing like government, like nothing. You can't do anything with that. You simply can't change the status. Even if we, I mean, I don't know, I mean, Slovak or Czech government or Polish government or Hungarian government. No, we can't. How can I say it? Get over it. No, because they are war refugees. Sorry, once again, we need to edit that. So, do you know why we are so generous to them? Because they are war refugees. That's it. They are war refugees. That's it.
But all of the trillions of money, millions of money, of
Most
dollars.
most likely billions, or I don't know if trillions, but billions definitely, yes.
So is
Yeah.
it there's a criminal faction that's there that has been supporting those bioweapon labs that supposedly they were from the US that are in the Ukraine right now. And so is this criminal element, these scientists, these other
Because pretty much once they will release that, they don't know, because there will be the wind, and nobody can predict the current of wind. Do you know what I mean? The part of the world. Do you know what I mean? Nobody can predict that. It was pretty much, it's.
US
Ah,
funded biolabs in the Ukraine conducted research. Um, we complain about Wuhan, but here's I don't even know why this is over there and why the US and why, Biden and his son Hunter was very involved in the Ukraine. And this is about the time when this is the third time, and I don't usually do this, but this is about it was Ukraine that caused the problem that they were trying to impeach Trump over, and look what is here, you know. This is bad, Peter. It's really bad, and yet nobody the American citizens don't have a say in what's going on, and yet the whole world is looking, and they're making, thinking that if they change the news in the U.S. to say what they wanted to say, but the rest of the world is still watching what's actually going on here. So, this is the Russian Defense Ministry earlier announced that the United States had poured money into a biological research. We're all paying for this. We're paying, and this is a result of what we're experiencing right now, which is horrifying. That all of these nations have this kind of these pathogens for anthrax and African swine flu, and I mean it's horrifying. All of this stuff was going on, but meanwhile, like I said earlier, the article about we have these.
Yes, this is it. This is the main part of the problem, as I said, because they are not that generous. Because I mean, we for region countries, they are not generous just because of something. Once again, because it's UN resolution, United Nations resolution, and once they are war refugees, you need to take care about them as a country. That's the problem.
Now, so one thing that I am curious about too, though, you said Peter Toth pretty much has taken over the Czech Republic, and
no, Slovak, Czech Republic, the whole V4 region. Yes, that's true.
He took over the whole region, which is he's also the Shadow Group, and so
Shadow Group not only member, not only regular member. No, he was one of the founders. Yes, that's very big difference. That's very big difference.
He betrayed his own people.
Yes.
So we're seeing a lot of these types of betrayals.
But sorry, but I am. And I will not watch my language. I am pissed off, and I will say why. Because look at those people, I mean, young mothers with small children and whatever. And I will say you something, that he was not smiling, he was laughing like some very good joke. I mean, bad good joke. Because I was like, what in the world is wrong with you, man? He was laughing about suffering, sadness, suffering, pain, and he got some serious mental illness, some sort of serious mental malfunction, dysfunction, or whatever. Because who in the world can laugh about that? And once again, I am not saying, or let's say I am not excusing Putin, right? But he believes, like limitlessly believes, certain officers, high-level officers in Russia. And try to guess what? They are, all of them, they are Barkov people. So they artificially created this fucking conflict. Do you know what
technically that there's this, it's a conflict or a distraction. We'll call it a distraction, right?
Yes.
Whereas, because we see that Barkov, who's from Russia, and then we have Toth, who's from Eastern Europe, and then we have Lynch, who is in the U.S., and they're all playing this game. There's for them, it's not a war. I mean, literally, they're from all these different regions.
But Jessica, please, how in the God's world, someone make jokes about people suffering? What the fuck? Sorry for
it's like
my
they
language.
Don't have a soul. They don't have a soul about what they're doing to people.
Sorry for language, but it is getting me emotional. It is getting me sick. it's making me some nauseous. It's
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. It is. It's heartbreaking for all of us to watch this, and the more
For
we
a
realize
second,
what's going on, it's upsetting.
for normal people, definitely yes. For normal people, yes, yes, yes. Because technically, why it is not because I don't know Putin wanted or wants like Donetsk, Luhansk, what is pretty much like two parts, let's say Donbas, right? And you have Donetsk and Luhansk, yeah, and then is it Crimea? No. They said, I mean, people around Barkov, what Putin trusted most. And it is pretty much the same story as with him, with Putin, as with Western, let's say, NATO countries, that they don't believe they can be unified with East, and pretty much the same stuff like no, they will not be infiltrated, they can't be infiltrated, they can't get unified with West. So this is the first problem, first, let's say, bad resolution what Putin did in the first place. In the second place, he believed that they, let's say NATO, I don't want to say NATO only, but whoever, so let's say Western countries will start attack on Russia from Ukraine. And he was like, okay, I will not let this happen. And he started the invasion. But of course, none of this will happen. And it's nonsense. It was false flag. Everything played perfectly by Shadow Group. Everything.
Right. And then
But how
they can
will
put all those
someone
articles
can?
out.
Sorry, go ahead.
They put out all those articles, and then what they were doing is they were actually getting pictures from earlier wars
Yes.
and changing it, the title of it, or changing, like removing the color, doing different things, and then they were saying
Or
this is
maybe
now.
cropping. They are cropping
Yeah.
certain, let's say, I don't know, like, yes, the houses looks in different areas of the or parts of the world, and it will be pretty obvious. So yes, exactly as you said.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean there are something is definitely going on as far as for these refugees to be coming over. But there's still the way that they're displaying it, everything just seems like it is a lot of hoax and propaganda.
Hoax, yes, hoaxes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
But this is stuff. I am not taking sides. So let's say
No,
both sides propaganda. Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, the world has become a platform for much propaganda. And another part of propaganda too, I just want to bring out. So this whole thing of they call it Hindu phobia, because of this swastika is literally, it's an ancient symbol. It's an ancient symbol, and
Yes.
they're trying to associate it with the Z, and or the Nazi, or the NAZI, I should say. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
and so the whole thing with, I mean, of course, there's images all over the world, ancient civilizations that use this symbol, and so I think they're throwing this around.
My question is why the heck they don't want to talk about Zephyr? Do you know what I mean? It's They are talking about, let's say, they are quote unquote steering. They teared certain stuff, certain parts of the context, and they get it to total different way. And it's like, what in the world? Do you know what I mean? It's total crazy. I don't know.
They're not showing that this is an elite team called the Zephyr team, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
And instead, here's these people from India that are like, what's going on? Feeling that they're being attacked and they're peaceful people. How many world wars have they been involved in? So,
Yes.
constantly protecting themselves, and it's the misuse of things and description, and also it's also bashing the Germans, because the Germans are not necessarily involved in this. I mean,
yes, you are right. You are right.
so it's almost like they've taken some kind of ideology, but then meanwhile, the German people, who are really nice people, I mean, they're a good culture, and yes, they had a ruler that was very, very aggressive and did some really horrible things.
Yes, that's true. That's
But
true.
so has Russia, so has the U.S., so has many others in the world. But we can't just focus on a whole group of a whole nation, and then turn around and hear they're whether the Ukrainians or whatever they are,
Yep.
Khazarians. I don't know.
No. I know what you are talking about. Yes.
Yeah. So then, saying, of course, trying to revive this whole Hitler thing. It's just that the whole thing is bizarre. It's full of propaganda and
But this is it once
sensationalism.
again. It's like, sorry for interrupting you. It is anti-Eastern, but pro-Eastern propaganda too. It's both sides. That's the
Yes,
problem. Both sides.
I know you're
Yep.
right, Peter.
I'm just saying, for being honest. I'm just saying. Do you know what I mean?
Here's something else that happened in your country or around the We4.
Yes, this is very important stuff too. Sorry, go ahead.
No, because I sent this article to you, and it's a military drone from the Ukraine war that crashes into Croatian capital Zagreb. It was pilotless military aircraft that crossed Hungary into Croatia, triggering a loud blast.
Yeah, this word is yes.
I don't know why I had problems saying it. The drone flew undetected over several NATO countries. Nobody saw it over several NATO countries, which is scary. Why is it that they didn't see this?
Give me a second. I will say why. Because it's radar undetectable. It's stealth. It has latest generation stealth technology. This is the main problem, right?
What do you believe happened here, Peter? Is this an accident?
No. It the direction, or let's say original target was. I don't want to be more specific, but let's say it's approximately 40 miles away from city of northern Italia, Milan, Milan, and there is approximately 40 miles away from Milan. It's very large and extremely important NATO base.
Oh.
And they were, I mean, the drone was heading there. Okay, that's it.
Well, do you think that because the Croatian president's name is Zoran Milanovic, it's almost Milan?
No. They let's say they realized that the whole object is way too how we can say it. It's way too well defensed, and everything is. Do you know what I mean? The patrols are all over the place. They said like, okay, rather go back, rather fly back, but
It ran out of fuel right here. And they said that the drone crashed in Zagreb after running out of fuel. That's what their excuse was.
What is not true? What is not true? Because the personnel, the military staff, they piloted the drone, let's say remotely, they totally screwed the maneuver. That is the truth, and that's much. It's big difference. Okay, it's big difference.
Right.
I'm just saying. Okay.
But their intention.
You are asking, or you was asking, so that's true.
Yeah. So you're saying their true target was Milan at the NATO base.
Please, not Milan, not Milan. Secret military, high-ranked secret military, NATO secret military base near Milan. It's like more than, it's like 64, 65 kilometers, approximately 40 miles away from Milan. That's big difference, okay?
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting us know about that.
No, it's fine. Everything is completely fine.
I just on a side, I know that we're talking about this topic, but I just changing really quick. The company plans to dig world's deepest hole to unleash boundless energy. Geothermal startup Quaise, sounds like Quasar or Quaise Energy.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah. To go into a deep subterranean power. I mean, I've had people tell me dreams that the earth gets split in half because of the garbage that we do.
Let's say this can happen. And I mean it for real, this can happen.
It's anyone that knows anything about science, that if you start trying to hit a rock and keep on going deeper into the rock, it's going to break in half. I mean,
yes, you are right. You are right, pretty much. Yeah.
So
you are right.
While this is all going on, we're having conflict and money and power and all sort, and these guys want to drill through the earth.
What is total chin shit, just by the way.
And the future of clean energy, yeah, because we won't exist anymore.
No, I mean it's for real. It's like, what in the world? What in the world are you doing, guys, man?
All right, so these are some of the geniuses from MIT, and I apologize for the region of where I'm from. That between Harvard and MIT, the crimes that they've committed around the world, thinking that they're intelligent, which this is counterintelligence.
No, they are not. They are not.
And all, but they're all trying to make a name for themselves, make big money, and they were comparing this to Russia's Kola super deep borehole or Qatar's Al Shian oil well, both of which extend about 7.5 miles. I mean, I know it is quite a ways to go through the earth, but even still, you don't have to actually go through the rock to break it open. You're creating
You are right.
anomalies on the planet. So anyhow, this is while we are distracted, a lot of things like this are going on, and not just one or two. I mean, hundreds of things like this are sliding under the wires.
Yep, you are right.
Yep. There is this article that I found, Dr. Klaus Schwab, or how the CFR.
Him again. Him again.
Well, and here we're learning in this article, they talk about how Klaus Schwab learned from Henry Kissinger.
Oh, man.
Right? And there was this, it's just talking about, and then how then Schwab has influenced all of these leaders and they're all pretty much acting the same way. And so they're kind of like his students, and a certain philosophy of what's going on here. Again, they talk about the NAZI and what Kissinger went through when he left. He was born in Bavaria, Germany, but he was of Jewish descent. And
yeah, we know. Yes, that's true.
So I'd like to, I just wanted to play a little bit of this in the beginning because they say something interesting about war.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and let's do it. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Yes.
All right.
Officials at the highest government levels are displaying interest in the theory of the little or limited war.
Well, our current military policy is based on the doctrine of massive retaliation, that we threaten an all-out attack on the Soviet Union in case the Soviet Union engages in aggression anywhere. This means that against almost any form of attack, we base our policy on a threat that will involve the destruction of all mankind. The Soviets will understand our increasing unwillingness to engage in this kind of war.
If I may, into more simple language, are you simply talking now about a policy which includes limited war?
It's a policy that, yes, that we are ready to engage in limited war. I do not advise that we initiate war. The question of war will arise only if the Soviet Union attacks. Then, if the Soviet Union attacks, and in fact, we are very much more afraid of total war than they are, they will gradually blackmail the free world into surrender.
So, I mean, you could keep on listening because this is about half an hour long. We listened to approximately 7 minutes of it. And I thought it was pretty interesting what he was saying. Remember, this is the teacher of Klaus Schwab, and Klaus Schwab is then further the teacher of everyone else. And all the leaders like Trudeau, Macron, Merkel, and, you know, going down the line, all of them. And so so we have these perspectives, and also, Peter, since you have told me that we are literally moving back in time so that we're reliving some of these experiences, and the Cold War is definitely something that's coming up, and the reason why it's heating up the activity in the eastern or the Soviet area or Russia.
No, I know what you mean. Yes, I know.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on this and this interview between Mike Wallace and Henry Kissinger?
They are saying, let's say, okay, don't think or don't do anything stupid. Don't be too fast. Don't do anything fast or whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? From my point of view, it's normal, and they don't want to get involved in anything like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's
a no-win situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But if you keep cornering a nation and attacking them and cutting off their resources, and then they have no other then you're forcing them to do something, to attack or to launch something that they probably would never do otherwise if there was a normal communication.
Yes.
Are we supposed to be this whole thing of cutting off fossil fuels, gas, or whatever, and any type of trade with some of these nations? I'm not sure if that's actually a good process, because it becomes debilitating, and it literally pushes someone into the corner.
Yeah, you are right.
And I think that if we had intelligent people in charge, or those that were representing, we wouldn't be experiencing these terrible experiences right now. But because there's a lack of intelligence and communication, we're at a great detriment, and that's the bigger problem. But there is, here again, getting back to some of the things we've been talking about for years, is that this overlay of realities, like you said, the bleed-throughs, the armies that are showing up from other realities.
Yes, this is the main part of the problem from my point of view. Yes.
And you have, this also time shifting backwards. The chronosphere is shifting backwards, which are it's causing us to relive things that had already passed. And,
exactly. It is creating this crazy vibration, this distracted vibrations, whatever. Yeah, this is the main part of the problem. Yep.
Like the Call of Duty Cold War, right? When you have the
yes, exactly.
footage
from my point of view, it wasn't coincidence that this game was released. Definitely not.
Right. And the cause of us going back in time, and is that part of what happened with these quantum computers, CERN, and some of these, or is it something else?
Oh, yes, definitely. You can bet. You can bet.
They've been playing with our existence, our reality there. The scientists are actually, a lot of these scientists are our enemies. That they are testing.
You can bet that they are.
They're the cause of a lot of our pain and sorrow because of their desire to have these experiences, like in Fringe, where you see Walter continues to cause problems in his attempt out of curiosity to see what the outcome will be.
Yes, it was only curiosity. Yes, it's like try to do this, try to do that. Yep.
But never having any kind of moral compass as to what
yes.
be.
Definitely not. No moral compass, as you said.
Yeah. So, how do we still, the ACIO is still in pursuit of the shadow group, which has been extremely elusive, and they are jumpers. They have advanced tech. They are collaborating in a world domination. They don't really care what region of the world they're from.
Yes, exactly, as you said.
And so this has been an ongoing effort. Have you feel like you've made any strides in finding who kind of shutting down some of their influences, or being able to capture them in any way?
This is the problem. They were saying that ancient giants were forcing them. No, I don't buy this story. Let's say story. For me, it's only story for me.
Well, the ancient giants were there. I dealt with them.
Yes, from first part, yes, but then I don't buy this.
They were gone. They were still doing the same thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Because we dealt with the giants to see if they were actually mind controlling them. I did find a reality, Peter, that was coming from like the We4 region, and there was a bleed through. I saw them driving these vehicles that kind of reminded me of the truck that Elon Musk created.
Yes, I know what you are talking about.
And they were using these balls they would put in like a gas tank as fuel. It was almost like cold fusion, but it was like some kind of energy instead of gasoline or electric.
Okay. I mean, not okay, but do you know what I mean?
See how this one right here is kind of what I was looking at. They were angular. They were very, they had this, and some of them were actually pointed in the front.
I know.
Like jagged.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know what reality is that, because I was trying to figure out where that was, but it was like a bleed through somewhere. And they had
everything of this is so crazy, because I don't want to say everything. Most of it's pretty much bleed throughs, or they are bleed throughs from another realities, you know.
And he's obviously Musk is obviously working with them to be able to know how to build these vehicles, because these vehicles are usually they're created to be aerodynamic, but
they are not. They are not. It's absolutely opposite shit.
It's not aerodynamic, but what it does do is it helps people get through. I don't know if the terrain is rougher.
Yes, exactly.
So
yes.
It has these sharper edges. It's sort of like a Mad Max kind
of.
Yes,
exactly. You nailed it. Mad Max style-ish, whatever.
Yeah, so he's involved with this other reality. Obviously he's not telling anyone, but it's
they will be stupid.
but people like myself can see what's going on. But yeah, it was mostly this like angular looking, you could see it. And you could see also that this shape would definitely get you through like rubble or a jungle or something. That's really harsh.
Yes, they don't care about like, nah, let's just
How
go
fast?
from A to B and that's it pretty much.
The balls that they had, it was almost like cold fusion, but it was very small. And what I saw was they put it into their gas tank, and the vehicle was able to run for like a year or 2 years or something like that.
Let's say that I am not surprised.
Now, I don't know how they harnessed it and how it worked, but and it didn't seem like it was dangerous to anyone, possibly the way the interior was built, so that it could contain it safely, you know, so it didn't kind of.
I know what you mean, but I'm just saying it's everything with them. It's so crazy. They are dangerous people. Do you know what I'm
This other reality. This other reality was dangerous,
Yeah,
right?
but I'm just saying that they are dangerous.
Yeah,
They are
look at that.
normal. They are not
Is that
normal.
solar? Is that solar or no?
Yep, it is, but
Right, they're
very strange. Everything is so strange within them. I'm just saying.
There's another, looks like a spaceship.
Yes.
I bet that could fly, right?
Yes, it's like Back from the Future, you know.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it is. It is. So, so I think I don't know if I have anything else, Peter. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with people?
No, I think that we are fine. What do you think?
I think so too, and I just want to say thank you for joining us today.
Okay, I want to say thank you very much for giving me another opportunity to be on the channel, and till next time. Hold tight.
Okay, and thank you everyone for joining us today. And it was wonderful to have Peter here, and also to talk about some of the more important topics of what's going on around our world. This is our perspective, obviously, but we are communicating information from the ACIO and what is going on in the present world. We also ask for the highest intention for humanity. So you super soldiers out there, you know how to protect. And remember, you're here for a purpose. Let's use our energy in the right way, instead of you know, competing or anything like that. Let's all work together to make things happen, and help those that are working with Kruger and some of these other groups that are assisting with the planet. Let's find that shadow group. And
yes, that will be very good to finish with them.
to finish it once and for all. All right, thank you everyone, and have a good day.
You have been listening to the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Marrocco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.acio-agency.org and www.readingsbyarael.com. Post your questions and comments below. We look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you.